Why are we doing this? It was your idea, but I'm not sure why. Why?
Definitely.
Why?
Because it's odd.
Oh, and you don't use that word often.
Because
Odd.
It's odd.
Okay, I got that though.
We do odd things here up in Otter Creek.
Oh, must be the thumbnail with the odd one.
Yeah.
Russ, the tongue sus. Mm-hmm. You know whose birthday it is today?
I think I know.
Whose?
I think I know.
Okay. I think whose?
Almost Jesus.
That would be tomorrow. I
But
said today.
Today's birthday. Actually, a lot of you at home know whose birthday it is. I'm going to be coughing a lot during the live because someone caught a cold. Someone caught a cold.
Better than dropping it.
Today is Joyce Hudson's birthday.
What? A Hudson sister birthday?
She was hated for so long because she was born on Christmas Eve.
Hated by her siblings because she took Christmas from them.
She did. She took.
But Christmas came back to Otter Creek, and she was the reason why. I think it's only appropriate that we open with a little happy birthday. What do you think?
Yeah. I think a little bit of birthday singing is due.
You a little pitchy dog?
Don't expect me to sing.
All right, you ready? All right, well, I guess here we go. Happy birthday to you.
I'm going to lip sync because it hurts to sing.
I said happy birthday to you.
Hope you're watching, Joyce.
I said happy birthday, dear Joyce Hudson.
Jeremy's over here double fisting with the mic.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Joyce. And happy birthday, Joyce, and happy Sunday Fun Day, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly Sunday live stream where we're coming to you live from the ranch house, not the schoolhouse.
How many people do you think are at home at their own ranch house, back home for the holidays?
A lot.
Really?
But I'm pretty sure the people will let us know in the chat.
We're finally back home for the holidays.
It feels weird, doesn't it?
From the moment,
you, Charles.
It feels like from the moment we got here, which was towards the end of October, we have all day, all night, have worked at the schoolhouse, except I was sick when we first got here. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And then I couldn't stop coughing. I couldn't sleep. And we just kept painting. And that's when we painted the kitchen and the living room and the bathroom.
Actually, at the ranch.
We painted the ranch with Deanna. And Deanna did not get sick then, did she?
No.
And neither did you.
Surprisingly, I didn't get sick by him.
And now Deanna is sick. And I pretty much blame it on her. So.
Yeah,
Deanna's at home sick as well.
She is. Hopefully she's getting better and isn't as bad as I am. But I finally went to urgent care. I made Jeremy take me to urgent care.
You made me?
Today.
You made me.
Yes.
I didn't say, hey, get in the truck. I didn't say, get in the truck, let's go. That's what you did? You said, get in the vehicle, we're leaving?
Yes. I said, I need to go to urgent care today.
I'm pretty sure I said, do you want to go into Chiefland? And you were like, I want to go to urgent care. I'm sick.
I said, I need to go to urgent care. Enough is enough.
And I said, jump in the truck. And you were like, I need a shower. I'm sticky. And I was like, well, too bad. The water lines are all busted and the drains are all busted. And you were like, I need a shower. at the schoolhouse. I'm sicky.
No, that's not how it went down. You
Oh.
said you're never going to get in. You're probably going to wait 4+ hours to get in.
That's true. I did say that.
He was being so negative about it. But guess who walked in and got right in?
Okay, now hold a second. In October, when you sent me finally to get the Z-Pack, guess who waited 4 hours and they were like, you don't need anything. You're
But
fine.
I never predicted you were going to wait 4 hours. I just
No,
said
you just
go.
finally made me go. You forced me in the vehicle, made me drive myself. This time you made me drive you.
So luckily,
You did. You got right in, which was...
Because of the holiday hours, they were going to close at 2 today, and I walked in at 1:47.
Lucky.
Lucky for me, because she goes, technically we're closed, but let me ask the doctor if she'll see you. And she said yes, and I thanked her over and over again when I finally met her.
So I told George when I went, they had so many hours, but I was there. Let's say I was there at 1 o'clock and at 4 o'clock they're done. Well, at like 1 o'clock when I went in, they were like, "You're the last person we're seeing today." And they knew it would take up to this long. And I told her, I was like, "They close at 2 o'clock." I was like, "There's no way they're going to take you." And there you go.
Walked right in.
George walks right in. And I'm like, "What'd they give you?" I'm like, "Oh, I got all kinds of meds." I'm like,
She did. She
wow.
gave me, thank you, Tracy. She gave
"Thank
me...
you so much, Tracy." Fun for Toys 2024. Christmas in the Creek.
She diagnosed me with sinus infection, respiratory infection. She gave me a steroid and an antibiotic, and got my meds sent
Thank
in
you,
right
Harriet.
away.
And we got your antibiotics today. Your steroid
Yeah.
and your antibiotics today.
The pharmacy was only open till 5.
And we got it in time.
Got it in time.
Christmas miracles.
It is.
Literally Christmas miracles. What did you want for Christmas? Meds?
Yes, this year for Christmas definitely needed some meds because I'm pretty sick and tired of feeling sick and tired.
Which George got sick after Christmas in the Creek. So, number one, when you bring thousands and thousands of people all together, and they're in tight... we thought the schoolhouse was large. Apparently not big enough. And they're all crammed in... I want to say a small space, but it's not. It's literally not a small space. It was just, there were so many people, and you're all in that space together. And George and I are trying to go through and meet everybody and greet everybody, welcome everybody, and keep everybody excited. And then we're running out in the rain, which she had an umbrella. She wasn't really getting rained on, but...
I had an umbrella for a second, and then I put it down because it was hard to hold the umbrella and record at the same time.
Okay, apparently she ditched the umbrella, but it was worth it, wasn't it?
It really was. We were hugging on so many people. We were high-fiving so many people, shaking hands with so many people, and it was bound to happen. I was going to try and pull an entire year without getting sick. I mean, the fact that I didn't get sick off of you when you were sick when we first came was a miracle in itself.
And you kept trying to kiss all over me, which
We were sharing drinks and everything, and I never got sick.
which is normal. And you'd like to
so-
take your food and stick it in my mouth, and so...
Yeah.
But you still didn't get sick, which was pretty unusual.
So for Christmas, all I want this year, Jeremy and I, we don't exchange gifts. We stopped doing that years ago.
We've only known each other for years.
Years as in like the last 3 years. We stopped exchanging gifts.
I thought you bought me a ranch. And last year, a schoolhouse.
No, those weren't Christmas gifts. I'm talking about for actual Christmas.
Last year, we went to Hawaii and the Grand Canyon.
You wanted to see the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I wanted to see the Grand Canyon before I die. Yeah.
And so we decided to do experiences versus gifts. But this year for Christmas, all I want to do is rest with some more rest.
This year for Christmas,
Added on top of more rest.
all we wanted to do was give a bunch of gifts away.
Yes. But we've already done that. I'm talking about Christmas for you and I.
Oh, look, Gina got ill as well. She tried urgent care, but was already closed. So Tuesday to
So she's got to wait till Tuesday.
Gina was with us vast majority of the time. So Gina was flying in. So Aunt Patty flew in. Gina flew in. Who else flew in? There was There was a handful. Somebody else
Diane flew in from California, and then her and her daughter drove down.
And then Jackie drove, and then there was a ton of people, and it was a ton of fun. And Gina just goes nonstop, and she's taking vacation from work, and then she goes back sick, and she's still like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
We left the schoolhouse. She was one of the last people to leave. We even left before, and then come back the next morning. She's already there
mopping.
before us.
She's mopping, and there was a lot of mopping that needed to be done, but. That is one of those great experiences where you're like, man, I'm so thrilled that we get to mop after all of this, and it was all worth it. It was a Christmas that I don't think we'll ever forget. And you have a bad memory, so
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. The news article that came out was nice.
Oh, the Chiefland Citizen did an incredible job on the news article. We were reading it again, brought tears to our eyes, just reliving it. And Channel 20 did a fantastic job as well.
They did.
I wish they would have gotten the Hudson girls in there.
All of them.
Oh, man, there was 5 of them at the schoolhouse.
We didn't even get all 5 of them together.
No, we didn't, but there was 5 of them. When George says we didn't even get all 5 of them together, you have to understand they were serving. They were serving people. They were serving their community.
Yes.
And that's what the Hudson mentality is. That's what their parents instilled in them and taught them, to love and to serve others and to take care of others. And so when you go, oh, we didn't even get all the sisters together, they were all serving other people and having a great time doing it. It was so much fun. Kathy, thank you so much.
We'll pray for you, Kathy.
Yeah, thank you so much. I still have a little cough.
A lot of people that are sick in the chat.
Well, that probably, that time of year. That time of year for sure. But if you were at Christmas in the Creek, then out in the rain, literally sideways rain, 4 hours, with thousands of people, and at the end of it, you're like, man, that was worth it. That was so worth it.
Yeah, people will be talking about that for a while.
It was absolutely incredible to even comprehend the man hours, and I don't mean just man hours, the man and woman hours. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Just preparation of the building.
We'll pray for your husband, Michelle.
Just preparation of the building. So one of our key focuses was we wanted to make sure the hallway to Santa Claus was painted and was prepped. And it's an old building. It's an old building that wasn't very well kept up. And things aren't kept up when you don't have the manpower to actually keep it up. You may not have the manpower, the hours, or the money. And so previous organization didn't have any of those things. So they didn't have the volunteers to come and keep it up. They didn't have the hours to keep it up with their own staff, and didn't have the money. And they needed to concentrate on what was most important, and that was their clients. So us coming in and going, okay, we're going to do everything we can to bring this back to its original beauty. But we wanted that hallway all set up, and with Rudolph and the beautiful tribute to the Hudson parents, and with the stockings, and it was gorgeous with the lights and all the ornaments, and it was absolutely beautiful. But that didn't just happen. There were hundreds of man and woman hours put into that.
Yes.
You even saw in the video. So there was Ryan. Ryan is a local, about probably 30 or less minutes away. And even then I shared with his son, do you realize Dad helped Santa get all this ready for you? And he did. And there were people everywhere coming in. There were hundreds, if not thousands, of man hours in preparation for Christmas of the Creek. And that was literally 4 weeks spent on that.
From the time we got to
where we went, all right, it's go time. We're going to start prepping the hall. We're going to start prepping decorations. We got to buy the toys. And we kind of had a timeline. We have to have this done by this done, by this done, by this done. And there were so many man and woman hours, hundreds, if not thousands.
And somehow we pulled it through.
And I don't even know how it all happened. and so even where where people have been asking questions and we've been answering questions in a Q&A in the past couple of videos, and people are like, how did this all happen? Gina says it was amazing. My heart's still filled with joy. It was so incredible. So
her flight got canceled.
Oh
or delayed,
yeah, it was awesome.
It worked so well for her, and she got to stay an extra day.
And she's such a sweetie as well. There's no doubt. She's such a sweetie as well. So we had hundreds, if not thousands, of man and woman hours in preparation until the event. And to the point, people want to go, well, how did this all work? How can we do this? And what did that look like for you guys? And I did share in the last video, I was like, well, number one, people who say, oh, that's just a tax write-off. Number one, they don't understand what tax write-offs are. So number one, they don't. You can just say it and it doesn't mean anything if somebody says it. It's just pure ignorance. So they don't understand what a tax write-off is. And they don't understand that you absolutely still have to pay taxes. As a matter of fact, during the preparation, you can ask the staff. My CPA actually called me during preparation for Christmas in the Creek and said,
you got an
no
earful.
more. He said, you are spending no more. He's like, no more. You have a huge check going to the government for your taxes. And he just cut that. And he went, no more. You are not allowed to spend any more. And I had it on speakerphone, and I'm like, George, Greg just cut us off. And like, we're not allowed. And then I hung up and I told everybody, I'm like, but he don't know what I spent today. So first of all, it's not a tax break or a tax incentive to do those types of things. There's a tremendous amount of cost, but that's what you want to do. You want to invest in people. Wanda. So you want to invest in people. George and I could have went, all right, I'm going to buy you a car. And George would have said, Jeremy, I'm going to buy you a car. And we would have been like, okay, no Christmas in the Creek. No way.
Or I could have been like, let's update the ranch house.
George could have said, can we put 50 grand into the ranch house?
Bathroom. With a flushing toilet.
Oh, we would have a flushing toilet. We are living without a flushing toilet.
I mean, technically it flushes, but you got to do it manually.
Yeah. So and so we have no flushing toilet. We actually don't even have running water right now, but that's because of another thing that broke.
The shower is smaller than a dorm style shower. It's small.
So yes, we could have put $50,000 into the actual house and to better our living conditions. Mm-hmm. No, we didn't want to. We wanted to put it into Christmas in the Creek.
Yes, we wanted to make an impact on
by far, and it was
not
amazing.
Only for the residents of Otter Creek, but also the residents of the entire county.
Yeah, absolutely,
and surrounding counties. We didn't turn people down that came from outside of Levy County. We weren't checking IDs.
Everybody was
welcome.
Everybody was absolutely welcome. But what people may not understand,
thank you, Tracy.
What people may not understand as well is when we are putting a full month into preparation, that's a month that we pull away that we're not making income on everything else that we normally make income on. And that means Deanna's job is to sell. Deanna was painting, prepping, decorating, organizing, managing, you name it. Now she's sick.
Put that on hold.
All of it went on hold. And Brian, we have a full staff that is getting paid, and all they're getting paid to do is Christmas in the Creek.
Yes.
They're not getting paid to make money anymore.
Yeah.
And so it's actually it was a huge undertaking and a huge expense for a small business. And we are a small business. We're not a medium size, we're not a big size, we're a small business.
Small operation.
Very small operation, very tight and family type aspect of employees situation, and we're small. And so when we take a month and go, okay, we're not going to focus on making income anymore, we're going to focus on making an impact. That was huge for us. And then to put everything that we did in it was worth every single penny. This has been the best Christmas ever. We don't need to buy each other gifts.
We really don't.
The joy in those children's smiles in their eyes was
the excitement and then hearing the feedback from everyone that volunteered. We spent time with Belinda, and she told us how a little girl goes, I waited in line for a few hours just to meet you.
6.5 hours. She said to Belinda, Mrs. Claus goes, well, Santa's right here. She goes, no. I waited 6.5 hours to see you. Oh,
and that
man,
just
it melts your heart.
Her. Yeah, and
Deborah, thank you so much.
There were even kids in line that waited for hours just to meet the Sean on the Shelf.
Yes, there were people that were only there to see the
Just to see
not
him.
that Sean on the Shelf,
Yeah.
the Sean on the Shelf.
There were people there that just loved the Grinch. They wanted pictures with the Grinch just to be with the Grinch. And
There were people who were telling the Grinch, "I love you. Here's Christmas." I mean, wow.
and sharing their candies from their goodie bags with him.
Wow.
And so hearing everyone's experience and what touched their hearts during the Christmas in the Creek event, and then asking them, would you consider doing this again? And everyone has said yes.
Oh, yes. Wanda, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Wanda. When I asked Sean, I said, would you consider being Sean on the Shelf again? He goes, I really need to think about it. Yeah.
Yes! I love you! I love you! I love you! That's what Sean on the Shelf said.
And so...
We do know... We don't know exactly how everything is going to go for next year. We didn't know how everything was going to go for this year.
Because we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know how many people were going to show up. We didn't know what the weather was going to be like. There were so many things that we didn't know.
Thank you, Mary Dale.
Thank you, Mary.
Here's what we do know now. We know 55 volunteers. We need more.
Well,
there's no doubt. We need more. Thank you, Wayne, for gifting
when he says
the membership.
We need more, it's so that the others can relieve the other one so they can take a break.
Bathroom breaks are huge. Parking.
Eating, to be able to eat.
We need more people to help
refuel.
parking.
I had 8 people out there parking, and that wasn't enough.
We probably need 2 people. One person outside just taking drinks and snacks to the crew outside working, and one person inside taking drinks and snacks. So at some point, George and I are going to go, okay, well, we need to add volunteers here, here, and here, and here. And you have to understand, some of you could go, well, Jeremy, I would come if you would pay me. Okay, again, we are a small business, okay? We are a small business, and we do have, Gina goes, I'm ready. I bet she is. We're a small business, and the aspect of us putting so much into this and putting all of our income on hold. So we can't afford to pay for people to come in and do the event at the same time.
This is a free function.
There's only so much money to go around, and I got in trouble by my CPA as it was already for spending too much. And so, but I pay him to tell me when I'm in trouble, believe it or not. But he has to keep an eye on every penny. That's his job.
Well, hold on a second. If you guys remember in the video, we showed you how long the receipts were from Five Below. Right?
And that's just the toy receipts.
Receipts.
That's not everything that goes into making this happen.
So those physical receipts are in his CPA's hands. Has he given you any feedback?
He told me. So when I had to fly back to Ohio for court, and that was for filing contempt of court in Ohio, and there will be a trial on that. So I had to fly back for that, but I also dropped those off to him because he said he had to put them through his machine to scan them. Usually I scan them in on my phone into QuickBooks, and he said his machine could do it. I have not heard anything back from him whether he could actually scan that or not. But those are some of the receipts that you see to make this happen. There are other receipts. For example, praise the Lord, Kevin kept coming and cooking for an army of people. It was like having your own chef in preparation, but your food expenses. So when Kevin wasn't there, we still had tremendous food expenses just to feed everybody. So you're looking, Georgia's like at one point, she's like, listen, you're at $100 every meal just to feed everybody.
With all the volunteers.
It's booming, it's booming, it's booming, it's booming, it's booming. But then there were people like Cynthia who showed up cooking. Maria showed up with the baked ziti. And then you had Jackie showed up with Chick-fil-A nuggets. Oh my goodness, that's my weakness, Chick-fil-A nuggets. We had
so many people bring in cookies and donuts.
Oh,
and
wow.
Karen Hudson, she baked
so much stuff for the kids.
Just to give away.
I don't know how she did it. I honestly don't know how Karen did it. Like, there were so many goodies that she made.
Maria
cookies and
also
cupcakes.
Brought cookies and cupcakes and the Jesus cake.
And the Jesus cake, which we still have a little left. We've been nibbling on it.
Yeah.
And Steve and his wife brought in a cake for us, which is right there. I'm almost finished with the entire
eaten
thing.
Like 3/4 of it. I've had two slices, and it is delicious.
I have. So you have all of those things and all of those expenses and preparation, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun with everybody coming together. Soup Freaks Mess, we saw your video, by the way. Thank you so much.
I watched a little bit of it.
$4.99, appreciate it. He says, I have a resource in Florida for a circus-sized tent next year. We may need it. Jill, thank you as well.
Thank you, Jill.
And Jill says, I want to be there to volunteer. The volunteers, there was just this whole spirit. It's the Hudson mentality. That's what it was. We could say it was the spirit of Christmas, or we could say it was the Hudson mentality. It was the same thing. Mm-hmm. So with Darlene and Joyce there, everybody just shared that same mentality of, this is all about the kids. We're doing Christmas in the creek. Everybody's
body was hurting, but they didn't care.
They didn't care.
Sucked it up and just did it.
And had a huge smile doing it. Mm-hmm. It was, so for George and I to go, hey, what do you want for Christmas? We just gifted it to each other. Remember, the greatest gift you can get is giving it to somebody else.
Yes, being a blessing to others.
Proverbs says, he who refreshes others, he himself is refreshed. Okay, Proverbs 27:19, I believe. And the whole gist of that is when you are speaking life, when you are refreshing others
Amy.
with your words, when you are giving of yourself to others, you yourself get a benefit from that. And so George and I had the greatest Christmas in my 46 years. Now listen, I had a good Christmas when I got my Sega Genesis, all right?
But that does not compare.
Doesn't even compare to Christmas in the Creek. Doesn't even compare to Christmas in the Creek.
So Christmas for me isn't about receiving gifts. I'm not really a big gift person.
Your love language isn't receiving gifts. It's physical touch.
I thought it was acts of service.
Well, it changes. It's I don't know. It's every day it changes. She's like, it's physical touch. And then she's like, it's acts of service.
It really
then
is
she's
acts
like,
of
it's
service.
Words of affirmation. Mine is very easy. It's physical touch. And it's acts of service. They're like, so they're tied and tied.
Gift giving was never, ever. Even as a kid, I was more interested in getting my parents something, even though I couldn't afford it. But like utilizing my mom to get my dad a gift, or utilizing my dad to get my mom a gift, or my siblings a gift. I've just always been like that. And so being able to see the joy in the kids' faces, that's rewarding to me, and all the hard work that we put into making it happen. And everyone, even the faces of the adults, as soon as they walked into the toy shop, they're like, I had so many families and so many parents come up to me. They're like, wow, you guys did an amazing job. This is legit a real toy store.
But we didn't do it. You guys all did. And that was the most incredible thing.
It wasn't, we can't take full credit for it, because a lot of you have sent gifts, and the volunteers have helped us put it all together.
Grandma Diane Sweely says, I'm already working with What You Doing Willis to rent out his trailer for the week so I can help out next year. Look, they're making plans already for next year. This is incredible.
That's awesome.
This is incredible. And the thing is, like, we were visiting with Darlene and Joyce today even, and we were all four commenting that, especially because we were talking about the town hall meeting, okay? And we're all sitting there saying the same thing, going, you know, it is an incredible thing that the world, and I mean that, the world cares about Otter Creek more than the residents. And please understand, when I say negative things, that is a small group of residents. You've seen the beauty of the residents. There were like 25 Otter Creek residents. That's a quarter of the town at Christmas in the Creek. Yeah. They are beautiful, precious, generous, giving, loving people who understand the Hudson mentality. But there are people around the world that care more about Otter Creek than some of the actual residents do. And what I mean by those residents, the negative ones, Russ the Sus, Don the Con, Mary Matt the Scary.
And the crazy part is, if they know they were invited, but if we would have personally went up to them like, hey, Christmas is, which you did during a town hall meeting.
I invited Russ the Sus.
But even if we went after the meeting and spoke to them face to face and said, hey, we're having Christmas in the Creek this day, this time, they would not show up.
They've never shown up.
Because we asked some of the residents of Otter Creek if those two ever attended any of the previous holiday parties that the town hall threw. And the answer was no. So it's not just us. It's just their spirit. And that's not something that they do. So it's nothing towards us. It's just something that they just don't get involved in. And it's sad.
They only get involved in things that benefit themselves. That's the sad part.
They could have just showed, even if it was to just show up for 5 minutes to make an appearance. They wouldn't. They wouldn't.
That's true. I mean, they probably wouldn't have. But you got to see so many of the beautiful people in Otter Creek. So obviously, Darlene was there. Mm-hmm. And Darlene, a year ago, asked Russ, there is a $500 line item for Christmas for the residents of Otter Creek that Town Hall would throw for the residents of Otter Creek. Mm-hmm. And it's in the budget. And Darlene goes, what's going on? You're the mayor. Step up.
They kept tabling it.
And Russ ridiculed her. And that rubbed me so wrong. That's your leader supposed to be looking out for your residents. And afterwards, I went up to Darlene and I was like, listen, I'll give you $500 right now. Let's go. We'll go to Walmart. Let's go buy the toys. What do we need? And
at that time, she didn't know you.
We really didn't.
She didn't know you.
Well, I'm sure she knew us.
She knew of you, but she didn't know you on a personal
basis.
So she probably wasn't sure how to take your offer.
And I'm going, let's go to Walmart. I got $500. What do we got to do? You know, this was wrong. What just happened? Mm-hmm. And at
that point, it was too late.
And it was too late to coordinate and to put everything together.
It just wasn't enough time.
And we went, okay, well, we want to be on your team. We want to be a part of this for next year. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking about it for a good solid year. Mm-hmm. And all of you out there were going, when is it? When can we start sending gifts? And we're like, whoa, wait. Like, and me and George are going, not till after Thanksgiving. We'll mention it after Thanksgiving. That's when everybody's thinking about Christmas. This upcoming year, I think we're gonna get into it a little bit earlier because the planning, now we know what to expect.
Yes.
And the reality is we want to go bigger. We want to reach and touch more people. Let me be clear on this. We don't need a former ex-mayor, Russ the Sus, or his blessing to do a Christmas in the Creek. And so while he took pride in ridiculing the residents and really sarcastically making fun of them and then going, do you want to give her $500? And Stewart immediately going, no!
Yeah, Stewart at the time was the vice mayor. He's straight up cringe.
And so we don't need those Grinches to have the world's best Christmas. And I feel like that's one of the things that we were able to accomplish was to have one of the world's best Christmases for us. But the world was literally involved. You guys were involved. You made that Santa's workshop. And next year, we have plans. We want to double the workshop because we're going to not have rain. And I
can't control that.
I can't even imagine.
Can't control the weather.
Could you imagine what it would have been like if there was no rain?
It would have been double the people.
Double? It probably would have been triple. Quadruple, quintuplet, 10 times the people. We have to figure out parking for next year. I don't know how we're going to do that. But remember, here's the thing to keep in mind. When this happened a year ago, and Russell did this to Darlene publicly in the meeting, which was so wrong. We didn't have a schoolhouse. So a year from now, what else is going to change? Like, who would have ever imagined? So let's just step back a little bit. Let's count the Christmas miracles, okay? Let's count the Christmas miracles. All right. Number one, a year ago, we had no place to host such a thing.
Right. At that time, we didn't even own the schoolhouse, nor did we even have a clue that we would own the schoolhouse.
Okay. So Christmas miracle number one, God provides a location. And I mean that literally. God provided it. When the church wanted it, and we said, yeah, we'll help you with $150,000. And then the church went, well, they didn't respond. because of Mary going and whispering in their ears negative things, they didn't want our money. And then the neighbors wanted it, and I'm sure the neighbors would have done great things with it. They offered, was it 60 or 80,000 or something like that?
I don't remember.
And then we never even thought about it again until we got a text. Hey, they're having a garage sale. George goes, hey, we want some picnic tables. You think they're selling the picnic tables out there when we drive by? And we're like, okay. We were on our way to a storage unit. I didn't even want to go. I did not want to go over there. And she forced me, and we were fighting about it. I'm like, we have to get a storage unit. There's not time for this. I'm the one that's a budget on time. This all has to happen like in the order like this, or the business doesn't happen.
A place for people to sit when they come to the ranch.
Which nobody comes to the ranch. So you can see where the contention was.
No, people do come to the ranch, but now they come to the schoolhouse.
There are a lot of people and a lot of visitors at the schoolhouse. And then we stop and we're like, oh, well, we're so glad that the church used you. You were talking like, oh, how do you guys like your new building? We're glad the church bought it. And they're like, no.
I asked one of the employees who happened to be the mother of the executive director, how do you guys like your new location?
You farting over there, or what's going on?
The answer was new location, and then that's when the conversation started, and we found out that
because we were told it was under contract with the church and everything, all of it
found out that
wrong.
There was never a contract.
The
and
church
the church kept
was
playing
screwing
games,
them over,
playing games.
So miracle number one. We go, we're your neighbor. How much are you asking? They said, we'd like to get $150,000. We said, okay, we'll wire it today.
Yeah.
But there was a stipulation. You must, and they did this. You must ensure that there is absolutely no contract, no misunderstanding in regards to the church owning it.
Yes.
If the church wants it, we want them to have it. And if they're not going to pay for it, we will. And they did. They went above and beyond. And so miracle number one, God provided a location.
Yes.
Okay. Miracle number two, now we have to have toys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's back up. Miracle number two, now we have to prep that location. There are some major issues in the location, right? So we have to prep that location. There's 10 different colors of paint in the hall. There was
every color you can think of.
100-year-old building. We have to prep this location. All right, and everything from pulling out posts in the ground that are potential accidents and you name it. There was preparation, and God miraculously provided people.
Yes.
All right. So miracle number one, God provides a location. Miracle number two, God provides people that we never anticipated. George and I thought, oh yeah, us, Deanna, and Brian, we'll just throw this all together. It'd be great. Never knowing there was going to be a month of preparation. So it could have been Jessica Kruger who was there, for weeks on end. It could have been Christine Roman Noodles, who shows up to volunteer for the event, can't stay for the event, leaves
because she had prior arrangements.
She had prior commitments.
Yeah.
And that's the quality of people that God sent. People who were so invested in the beauty of giving towards Levy County and Otter Creek, that they would show up and help to prep, even though they weren't going to be there for the actual event. Kevin, here's another miracle. You got to feed everybody.
Kevin showed up with bicycles.
That's right.
Before he started even cooking.
Kevin shows up with bicycles, and then he shows up every day with food. and we're just like, okay. And he's like, hey, do you guys like Philly cheesesteaks? Who doesn't like Philly cheesesteaks? Hey, do you guys like baked macaroni and cheese? Who doesn't like baked macaroni and cheese?
Hey, do you guys like burgers with bacon?
Bacon burgers? Yes, please. Okay. So you kind of see where we're going. All right. So God provides a facility. God provides people in preparation. Now we need toys. And so this is no joke. I wrote a list of stores I was going to call to see if we could go and buy toys. The very first store I called, the first employee I talked to, I said, hi, this is Jeremy. Can I talk to your store manager? Then the employee goes, well, what's this about? I said, I'd like to buy every toy in your store. And she hung up on me. No joke. Okay?
Do you remember her name?
Yes, and I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
Because we've already shared the store. I call back another manager who was the who was the stocking manager, answers, and she goes, "Are you the person that this employee just hung up on?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." She goes, "I apologize. I saw it happen. That is not right." And she goes, "What was that about?" And I was like, "I'd like to buy every toy in your store." And she goes, "Okay." She goes, "This is serious, right?" I'm like, "Absolutely, this is serious. This is my name. This is a YouTube channel. You can look it all up. This is 100% serious. Can I have a meeting with your store manager?" And she preps the store manager, and the store manager is literally laughing on the phone going, "This is going to be so incredible." What you saw, Dusty. She was amazing. All right, so miracle number 3. We now have toys. The very first store I contact hangs up on me and then makes it happen, which is... I mean, come on, this is a miracle. All right.
Most people wouldn't call again. You would have
been like, "You're not getting my money. Yeah. I'm going somewhere else."
Would have went on to the next name on your list.
Well, let's face it, I'm very patient. So, I mean, I did give Otter Creek 3 years to send me public records,
and never
they were stealing from me. And okay, so now we have a facility that we didn't have. We have people prepping that were coming out of the woodwork that we never anticipated. Now we have toys. Okay, all right. Let's talk about
Dan.
Let's talk about some more miracles. Okay, all right. So
yes, Shauna.
We need people. We need people to show up. And I can honestly tell you, I kept telling Darlene and Joyce, I'm like, "All right, we're gonna make this side of it happen." I'm like, "But you guys are the locals. We don't know anybody. Like, please get people here.
Word.
Please get people here." And miraculously,
thank you, Mary.
This is mind-blowing miracle. In a historic flood. By the way, for members, top tier members, you got to see some of the flooding on the property today as I was out on the gator, and you got to see different things. And historic flooding.
Yes.
You got to see the bobcat that's been attacking our chicken coop as well, if you're in the top tier membership. But
so the weather was beautiful.
All the days before. All the days after.
Before. It rained just a tad bit today, but it lasted like 5 minutes. And the weather was beautiful the next day up until today.
And the people are lined up for miles.
Yes, and still excited.
Mind-blowing.
Still excited. Every time we went outside to check on the line, everyone was just happy.
Mind-blowing. Just literally mind-blowing. All right, so miracle number 1, God provides a space, a building. Miracle number 2, God provides people to prep it. Miracle number 3, God provides toys. And by the way, part of that miracle is you. People around the world, literally sending toys from around the world.
Yes,
you're part of that. Globe. You're part of that miracle. Okay. Miracle number 4 is now the people are there for Christmas in the Creek. Okay. There's no way in the world that we could have done this without all the volunteers.
No way.
Miracle number 5, God sends more people. More people. Not in the preparation. God sends more people for the event. And there's no way. There's just literally no way. We could not have done it. We could have not done it. If there was one less person, we could not have done it. And so... And I've been joking, like Jackie was in a chat, and she goes, "Hey, do you need another volunteer?" And George was like, "No, we got our volunteers." And I look at the camera, I'm like, "Just come." If she wouldn't have come, we would have been in complete and total disaster. Like, we needed everybody.
Yes.
Everybody. So there's another miracle. Now, here's another miracle. And I'm not joking about this, okay? Within the first 30 minutes, I start hearing people are telling me, "We're going to run out of toys. We can't give them 5. We got to cut it down. Can we cut it to 3?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And it started come from What You Doing, Willis. And then it got to Deanna, and it got to Darlene and Joyce. And they're like, "There's not enough toys. There'll never be enough toys." I go back into Santa's workshop. Okay. Now, I don't know if you know about Jesus, and there's a multitude, and there's 5,000, and he's feeding the 5,000. He says, "Who has fish and a loaf?" Kid comes and goes, here's my lunch, here's the bread, here's the fish," and God multiplies it. And then there's baskets afterwards left over. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. God was multiplying those toys somehow.
Yes.
I am not joking. Like, everybody in 30 minutes is going, "There will never be enough." I go back there, I'm like, "It doesn't look like anything's gone. What are you talking about?" And they're like, "No, we have to cut back toys." I'm like, It looks like there's just the same amount as when we started. This is no joke.
I felt the same way too. I never felt once like we were going to run out of toys. But at first, before the event, I felt like we were going to run out. And as the night progressed, I never once felt like we were going to run out of toys because I felt like God was going to provide that night. Thank you, Kim K.
It was just miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle.
And the rain.
Even the rain was a miracle.
It
I mean,
really
the
was.
rain was a miracle, and the people's joy within it. And
Joyce said it was her parents' tears.
Perfect. Her parents' tears
Debbie,
out of love of what was happening once again in Otter Creek. Like there was love being shared in Otter Creek again. And it was so precious. And I'm so glad. A week before, I told Joyce and Darlene I was not going to film. I was like, I want this to be an experience for the parents and the kids together. And I was like, I really don't want to film this. And Joyce was adamant. She's like,
she did this to him.
This is no joke. And she'll tell, if she's in the chat, she'll tell you. And she went, nope. She went, people around the world are investing in this. You have to show it to them. And I went, You're right.
What does he do? He goes live for almost 7 hours and the day of the event.
She was right. And so she goes, listen, Jeremy, she goes, you always show, when people give money, you always show where the money went so that they know that their gift went towards that. And she was right. She was absolutely right. She's like, you have to show it. And I'm glad that she talked me into it, because now we have that memory on YouTube forever. And that's what YouTube is for us. It's a scrapbook of our lives. It literally is a scrapbook of our lives. Now, it could be used like such as in Otter Creek, in Town Hall. It could be used for accountability. But even that, it's a scrapbook of our lives. So this is something that's happening to us. Otter Creek Town Hall is something that happens to us. When other people try and interfere and they don't even live in Otter Creek, that's not okay in my book. Now, does it mean they can legally film? Yeah, they can legally film. But it has nothing to do with their life. That's the issue. That's the difference. This is our life, our scrapbook of our life. And Christmas in the Creek is the pinnacle of one of the greatest experiences that we've had on YouTube. I really believe that. And so to see all these miracles come together, who knows what miracles are going to happen next year? We may own a parking lot, George. It may be an hour away, but we may own a parking lot, because Lord knows we needed one. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
There was a gentleman, and I forget his name. He wanted to donate a bounce house for the event.
Yes.
And the more that I think about it, and it's very sweet, very generous, but it would have prevented people from getting in with parking.
We're gonna figure something out for parking.
Yes. And then we were going to have a helicopter come in, and that would have taken up more parking spots. And so
there were so many things. There were going to be kangaroos, lemurs.
Yes.
There's so many things that people don't know was going to happen.
Yes.
And the weather prevented.
And the weather was kind of a blessing in a sense, because we
needed the parking. We literally needed the parking. So all those other activities, we needed the parking.
Yes.
That is true. That is very, very true. We needed the parking.
So for like the community yard sale, I think the bounce house would be appropriate for them because it's less traffic.
Well, I would love to see, and by all means, I understand every time I say something, there's always people out there that want to take it out of context and say, well, he really was saying this. Listen, don't misinterpret me. This is what I'm saying. I would love to see the residents of Otter Creek, which we are residents, okay? But I would love to see the residents of Otter Creek grab hold of some of this thing, like the community yard sale. And by the way, residents did. Carl was fantastic in planning and prepping with Deanna. But if they're truly going to build a community center, which I don't think will be built by next year,
no.
What a great opportunity to say, hey, we're going to do it there. I mean, that would be a great opportunity, even though we don't know where there is. And what that does for us is it allows, number one, we save money because we lost. Yeah, when we're doing this, and again, don't misunderstand me. I'm not complaining, okay? I'm not complaining. And he's complaining. The people are going, he's complaining, he's bragging, he's da-da-da-da-da. This is life. We work with money. We talk about money, okay? There are some people who go, why do you always talk about money? Well, That's our life. We're a channel that tries to teach you how to make money. We're literally trying to help you grow your finances and your stewardship so that you can do things like Christmas in the Creek. And so if there was a community center, that would save us quite a bit. And I mean, you could have all bathroom facilities there, security there, and if they were going to have, a community yard sale, which by all means they are more than welcome to still do that at the old schoolhouse. There's no problem whatsoever. But it would be great if it's okay that Jeremy and George are a catalyst for this, but no one thing should be surrounded by one person. Okay, and what I mean by that is this community of Otter Creek need to take their town back from the Russell Meeks and the Don the Cons and the Mary Marys of the world. They need to reclaim their community. They need to reinstate the Hudson mentality and take care of one another and do things together. And I realize if it's Jeremy and George stepping up and going, and it's Darlene, Joyce, Jeremy, George. Okay, there's 4 people. That's 4% of Otter Creek right there. But we don't need 4%. We need 40% of the people coming together and go, we're doing this. We're gonna do it. And the beautiful part is 25% of Otter Creek came together for Christmas in the Creek. And so I would love it if there was a community center that was big enough and we don't have to do it at our facility. I would love it if the community yard sale wasn't at our facility. We're losing money, okay? So you can't continue a business. This is why my CPA is calling me. One of my spiritual gifts is generosity. I love to give. I will give the shirt off my back. And George always has to balance me and go, listen, you have to take care of yourself as well. And you have to buy yourself new socks. And you have to buy yourself new underwear. And you have to buy new clothes. Even though you guys send me so much t-shirts. Does it? I don't. But I would give
t-shirts. I buy them the underwear and socks.
I would give the shirt off my back, and that's one of the things that I feel God has called me to do and has gifted me with to be able to gift to others. And so George tries to balance me and go, and it's business, right? You can't. It's the same thing I say about town hall. You can't spend more than you make. Right. And so George has to pull me back and go, you can't keep doing this for a loss. And my CPA has to call me and go, you can't keep doing this for a loss.
You get yelled at.
I get yelled at a lot.
You get yelled at for trying to do nice things.
I do. I do get yelled at a lot. So my heart would not be broken if community center is built and they can afford it and they can take on some of and the town comes together and they go, Hudson mentality, let's go. And they all come together and they say, let's do this. But if they can't do that right away, they are more than welcome to utilize the space in the old schoolhouse that we purchased.
Or even use it as parking.
So we absolutely have plans for 2024. And I don't think the community center, if it ever does get built, I don't think that it'll be built within a year. So next year for sure we'll be at the schoolhouse. And that means the community yard sale will be as well, which I think that was a ton of fun for people. And I don't want to charge people to be, so like Deanna was doing like $20 for a spot, but you got that money back as long as you showed up.
It was just to hold a spot.
Yeah, we didn't make any money.
Right.
And any money we made in the dollar sale was just given
back to Cedar Key.
We had more money in food expenses to feed people than we even brought in the dollar sale. So
Julianne says, don't forget the miracle of the storage unit full of decorations.
Oh, I forgot that one. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Okay.
Thanks, Julianne.
And then Julie, we have no decorations. This is the crazy part. I can't believe I forgot that.
We had no Christmas trees.
We had no Christmas tree.
No decorations.
No decoration.
No
nothing.
Lights.
We had an elk. We had elk and deer. And we were like, that works for Santa.
A ton of taxidermy.
We had taxidermy. we had Blondie, we had Rudolph, we had Randolph, we had 6 deer, Maryland. We had no decorations. And then God goes, okay, I got this, and gifts us this unit filled with Christmas.
And we didn't even use all the decorations.
Not even close.
We used a lot of it, but we didn't even get to use all of it.
So here's what I learned from that experience as well. Number one, don't doubt God. God's going to make it happen. God did make it happen. Like, incredible miracle. Number two, here's what I learned. We need a full week for decorating the schoolhouse next year with volunteers because we barely even tapped into the decorations. But we also have plans.
We decorated Monday through Saturday, part of Saturday. So,
but we have plans next year to just use the front 2 rooms for Santa's workshop and then have everything outside for activities.
So, tent.
Yeah, we want. Well, maybe tent. We'll see. If it's nice out, no problem at all.
Yeah, but you can't control the weather, and you don't know what the weather is going to be like.
What if God gives us rain again? We're going to be like, yeah!
That's why you have the tent.
It's going to be swimming in the creek. Christmas swimming in the creek. But that was a huge, huge miracle right there.
It really was.
A lady who passed away, and one of the most horrible things, she passed away. And yet her love for Christmas continues on.
Yes.
And
it was a part of Christmas in the Creek.
Can you believe that? That touched thousands and thousands of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a gift. What a gift. And there's other people that are going to get gifts this next week for Christmas as well. I mean, I dare say there's a handful that are going to get subpoenas and they're going to be they're going to be under deposition. There's going to be a person in Bronson. There's going to be there's going to be a person in Wisconsin. There's going to be a person in California who said she's going to sell all of her information on the black web. Oh, by the way, charges are being brought as well. But there's going to be gifts for everybody. For everybody. Literally for everybody. But some people probably aren't going to like those gifts they get this next week. But they're getting them nonetheless.
Oh, they may enjoy it.
Oh, that's true too. They may enjoy it.
Yeah.
They may enjoy it, especially that one in Bronson because that one in Bronson, that huge one in Bronson, has been brought up in 2 court cases so far, stating that she's at fault for everything. So charges are going to be brought. So it should be interesting. Should be interesting. But Christmas in the Creek, huge blessing.
Yes.
Miracle
Huge
after
success.
miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And then that mountaintop experience, we go to town hall. George, how'd you feel about that?
Thank you, Cherie. Town hall meeting was a blur to me because I was so sick, and then I got into a coughing spell, and I ran to the bathroom, and I was coughing so much, and I ended up puking because I was coughing so much, and then it was a blur to me. Don't ask me about town hall.
So George and
I
I's
wasn't feeling well.
Original intent was town hall gets on track where it needs to be. And then we had already determined that December would be the last meeting that we wanted to go to. And by the way, we didn't even want to go to this December meeting. After Christmas in the Creek.
Well, we had a Christmas in the Creek high.
And you don't want to go back to a town hall low and you sit there and go, oh my goodness. Nobody wanted to go back. Nobody wanted to go. Well, I'm sure Russell and Don did, but nobody wanted to go back to that. Everybody wanted to stay on, hey, we're in the Christmas spirit. And you're not seeing the Christmas spirit in town hall meeting at all. You're not seeing the Hudson mentality of people who actually care about the town and the residents.
Only just from 2 particular council
Correct.
people.
So when we verbalize this negative opinion of Otter Creek, it's
We're
in
only
regards
referring
to
the 2.
those few.
Yeah.
Okay. And so as we've stated so many times before, you saw some of the most precious, most generous, loving people serving at Christmas in the Creek. And I could go Deborah Thomas, I could go on to Madam Mayor, I could go on to Ellie, Gail, Scott, Doug, Belinda, Joyce, Darlene, and we can just keep going on and on and on. And I'm not trying
Jeremy.
I'm not trying to upset anybody by not stating their name, but there are so many precious people that you never get to see. Oh, and Gail's, I do want to say this. Gail's granddaughter was amazing. Just amazing.
She when I assigned everyone their places, I went around and I asked everyone, "Do you feel comfortable with what you're doing?" And when I asked her, she goes, "Oh yeah." And
she was singing, so good. She was singing and entertaining, and she was just perfect with the kids. Just absolutely amazing. And then we got to go to town hall meeting. And George and I wanted to be done filming town hall. Now, keep in mind, number one, we weren't the ones that started filming town hall. Right. And you already know who did, okay? And who started all this Otter Creek politics. And so that was not us. We filmed because of the intrusion and the theft and the manipulation and the lies into our own personal lives, okay? And so George and I determined that, all right, this was the last meeting we wanted to go to. Now, because things have changed and more of those changes will be explained in the future, probably as of right now, I would say it's going to be more than 2 weeks. It's probably going to be roughly around 4 weeks. And so there's a list of videos already that it'll just be one after another, after another, after another, after another, which will be coming out. And all of your questions will be explained at that appropriate amount of time. But due to current circumstances and due to future circumstances that could exist, George and I will be at every town hall meeting for one purpose, and one purpose: to protect the residents of Otter Creek from anybody who could endanger them. And that's it.
Yes.
Okay? And so while our intention was to be done, our focus has had to turn and twist to actually try and help protect the people and the residents of Otter Creek from any other foolishness that could happen to them. And so that means even if we're in Ohio for the summer, we both of us will be flying down for every meeting. Now, that's a tremendous expense to us, and we don't want to have to do that. But there's a reality that if we don't, things could get very, very much worse in Otter Creek. All of that will make sense in the future, but we've had to adjust our goals and focuses, unfortunately, because we wanted to be done with town hall meetings. We don't want to go to them, but there's an accountability aspect, and it's not just the accountability of Russell and Don. Now it's accountability of other individuals as well. And so, unfortunately, we feel the need from the residents to actually be there to help protect the residents from any other foolishness that potentially could happen. So we will be there, and we boldly declare that we'll be there, even though we want it to be done in December, and that was our original plan. But whether we film them or not, we haven't discussed yet. It's gonna really determine what happens here after Form 6.
Yes.
So
Form 6 has been interesting so far.
Very, very interesting. Yeah. So Don the Con can't hear. And yet Russell is over there whispering to him, "Hey, Don the Con, will you go to Christmas in the Creek with me?" Check yes or no.
I should do a Q&A with Don.
So Don loved talking to you before.
I actually enjoy talking to Don.
So do you want to share about your interview with Don outside after last month's
meeting?
Because
I did.
Top tier members got to see that. It was an additional video for them.
We released it in a video for the members that are...
It didn't make the cut for a normal video. And there are things that we add for top tier members. And I realize as I say that there's always those out there that go, "Oh my goodness, you're charging for videos. I'll never watch you." Great. You get to watch a video every day. You pay for your streaming services. Well, I'm not. We literally spend millions in providing you free entertainment, and you want to come at us and complain that somebody's willing to pay for more information. That's a small percentage. It's a very small percentage. The same people that are going to complain that, "Oh, this person bought a What the Hale's hoodie, but I don't get a What the Hale's hoodie." I mean, it just blows my mind. We spend millions to literally entertain you on a daily basis. And we've literally have spent millions as we've been on YouTube in all the production and all that we've done to provide for you. We have spent millions, and somebody complains, "How dare you how dare you make a video that I can't watch?" Oh my goodness.
Even though they watch a video every day for free.
Yep. And immediately we go, "Block! Busy block!"
Anyways,
George goes, "Busy block!"
So Don will say hi to me. He always says hi to me. And I think I can do like a Q&A with Don after the meeting.
You think he'd be able to hear you?
Yeah.
So wait, so he can hear you, but nobody else?
He can hear me.
Huh. Interesting.
He can definitely hear me.
It's interesting. Which you did a mini Q&A, and there are probably some who actually saw it.
Yeah, I did. I asked him if he served in the military, and he said yes. And I asked him which branch, and he told me. And I asked him which years, and he answered. And
he was drafted.
He was drafted, but I forgot to ask him what role or what position.
Well, we already figured that out, though.
But I wanted to hear it from him.
You wanted to hear it from him.
Yes. Because a lot of people can't find anything on him. And so I wanted to hear it from him.
Yeah.
And I did ask if Russell served in the military too, and he answered.
So Don answered, Russell didn't.
On behalf of Russell.
You think Russell would do an interview with you?
Oh no, absolutely
Really?
not.
You don't? Russell's he's a chauvinist pig. What are you talking about?
I don't think he would.
You're a beautiful brunette. You don't think he would?
Don, I feel confident he would say yes.
I think Russell's biggest dream right now is trying to do an interview with you.
No, he would ignore me and walk away.
Do you think he would do this?
First? Yeah, he would do that first and then walk away.
Russell almost looks like a mole.
When he does that face, yes.
Molasses. Yeah. Looks like he's just ate some molasses.
That's his thinking face.
Oh, that's what he's doing.
Remember, we all have our quirks.
Okay.
That's his quirk.
Okay, some of us have more than others.
You have your quirks. I have my quirks.
My new one is this.
Don has his. Russell has his.
This is my new one.
We all do.
And if you looked at the thumbnail, this is my new one. By the way, George makes every single thumbnail.
I do.
And she dies laughing as she does it. And then she tells me, okay, we're going to do this at the opening. And I'm like, why? And then she shows me the thumbnail. I'm like, oh.
I've been sick all week. I haven't had a good laugh.
We're doing this. So we'll continue to be at the town hall meetings.
Yeah.
Even though they are ridiculous, they are... my prayer is that the good residents, who by far outnumber the bad residents, take their town back. Mm-hmm. And the danger is the good residents, they go, I don't want to be a part of that town council. I get it. I don't either. Mm-hmm. And I have no desire to be a part of politics in Otter Creek. I had no desire to move in.
Neither of us do.
I had no desire to move in and to have my property trespassed on, dumped on, drugs sold on it. I had no desire to be stolen from, lied to, manipulated. I didn't have any desire for those things. And I have no desire to run for office by any stretch of the imagination. But the good people of Otter Creek need to take their town back from the bad people of Otter Creek. Like, this is not okay. That the Hudson mentality should saturate this town, and people should be drawn to this town, not running away or feel pushed out. They should be drawn by the love of the people.
All right. Well, I know last Sunday I told you guys we would open up fan mail, and I told you guys we would do an auction.
All right, let's do it.
Circumstances have changed, and I got sick. I was sick that the following morning, and I've been sick since.
How long was I sick once we came down here? For like three weeks?
I don't remember.
You're on week 1. Do you think you're going to beat my 3 weeks?
Yes.
All right, there you have it. She's going to be sick for more than 3 weeks.
Oh, no. I won't be sick that long.
She heals better than I do.
Well, now that I'm on antibiotics, I should be.
And you did send me for antibiotics, and then I kept pushing it off taking them, and I still have a little bit of a nagging cough.
He waited a couple days to take them.
Because I told you I was holding on to them for you in case you needed them, and guess what? Now you need them. I'm always looking out for Sabina, Kay. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Oh, now. Members who saw the live stream where I won the storage unit for $2,020, and you're like, "Oh man, this is going to be so good." Jeremy just won the storage unit.
You got 2 phone calls.
So, and those who are going, well, what's he talking about right now? I didn't see that live stream. 2nd tier and 3rd tier memberships, they get an extra live stream. Top tier, 3rd tier memberships, they get an extra video, and so it's more. It's more intimate. It's not as polished. It's just real life. That's what it is. And we get to answer, directly their questions and interact directly. It's a lot of fun. Frankie, thank you so much.
Thanks, Frankie.
So you saw me win that storage unit for $2,020 in Tampa. I think it was in Tampa. Maybe it was. I don't remember. But I did get 2 phone calls. What were they?
First one was, hey, it's over $1,000. We need to get approval from corporate.
Okay, so anytime you purchase a storage unit from Public Storage, if it's over $1,000, they have to send that bid up to corporate, and corporate has to approve it. $1,000 is their threshold, and that's whether it's live or online. And this one was online, so we already knew that because it was a public storage facility. Second call
was, hey, the previous owner paid off their unit.
So I did not get it. But I did win another unit yesterday in Tampa for $780, a 10 by 10, filled with U-Haul boxes. Now, I would have much rather had totes, but they spent money on U-Haul boxes too. So I'm pretty curious. And I asked George, I was like, you want to go today and get it? She's like, no. And we only have 48 hours to get it, so we can't get it on Christmas. They're allowing us to get it later this week.
Yes.
Unless it gets paid off.
Unless the previous owner claims the right of redemption.
Law of redemption. They can come in, they can pay off their back pay before I actually pay for the unit.
So even though he won it at auction, technically the previous owner has up until
I show up and pay.
He shows up and pays the remainder.
I could be in the parking lot getting my wallet ready, and and they could come right in the line before me and pay, and I don't get it.
Goes to them.
And then I drive all those hours, spend all that diesel, and I'm out everything.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Debbie.
I found another one in 3 days that has a giant safe.
Nice. Debbie Farmer says.
Debbie Farmer flew in
Happy
too.
Happy birthday, Christian. No, Debbie drove.
She did? I thought she flew.
Tripped. She road tripped. At first, I thought she was flying, but she road tripped it. Okay. Says Merry Christmas, Pepper. First Christmas for Pepper. And tomorrow is actually Christian's birthday.
That's true.
So that's where the name Christian came from. His mom named
him Christian because he was born on Christmas.
Yeah. So do you want to sing
my goodness.
Happy birthday to Christian?
Oh my goodness. Hold a second. I have to show you this. Deanna just sent pictures of the world's cutest elf watching What the Hales. That's actually you in the background, but you can't tell right now. Okay, and then look at, oh my goodness, his smile is so beautiful. He is just, I swear, perfect baby. Perfect baby. Little Drew is perfect baby. Now I got to show you one more cute baby. Let me find it here. Okay, this is. Goodness. I haven't even shown. Have you seen these yet?
No, she hasn't been sending me any pictures.
They're sending them to me. Oh man, there's baby Pepper.
She got her ears pierced.
She did.
If you guys
oh
noticed,
my goodness.
She's got her ears pierced.
Okay. Let me show you another one. I mean, she's Christian. She is Christian.
She looks just like her dad.
Let me find, that one is so cute. Oh my goodness, look at this. Can I save this? And
yeah, you got to turn your rotation off.
I'm just gonna save it and then I'll edit it. Okay, I gotta show you this. You have to see this. You have to see this. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is Christian if I've ever seen a face. That's spitting image of Christian right there. That is totally Christian right there. That is Christian's face.
Yeah.
That is so Christian. All right. I feel like we're grandparents trying to show the world our grandkids, and they're not even ours. So we're stepping in on Deanna's territory.
We're claiming them.
We're stepping in on Deanna's territory, and we're claiming Pepper no matter what anyway, because we don't have any grandkids currently. So, but that being said, no auction tonight.
No, unfortunately, I'm gonna rest.
No fan mail tonight.
No fan mail tonight. I apologize, you guys, but I will get better so that we can do that next.
Do you need mouth to mouth?
Nope.
Okay, I don't want to get sick. There's Angie and Rick's Family Adventures. and sent $5. They were
Thank
at
you.
Christmas in the Creek.
Yeah.
They were at Christmas in the Creek and did a nice little video. So it was fun. There were so many fun people at Christmas in the Creek.
There really was.
And if it wasn't raining, we would probably still be giving out toys because God just kept multiplying them. They're like, no toys! I'm like, what are you talking about? It literally looks like there's more toys than when we started. Like, I'm not joking. I literally went in there. I was like, is God just multiplying the toys? Like, is he just... do they take one off the shelf and it goes...
It's like a lizard's leg. It grows back.
I'm like, does God just was blessing. I can share that very, very openly, that God just kept blessing and blessing and blessing and blessing. And it was a wonderful event. And the reason for the event is Jesus Christ. We were celebrating Jesus Christ's birthday.
Because he is the reason for the season.
So we know there are those out there that want to be all educational and get heady and go, well, Jesus wasn't born in December. We celebrate it in December. It's just a celebration, and we're celebrating Jesus' birthday. We were given the greatest gift in the world, a Savior, to save us from our sins. Of ourselves, we can do nothing, and therefore we celebrate that by giving gifts to others. And this year was the greatest Christmas I've ever had in my life, giving gifts from people around the world to people around the county, and many came from around the world as well, flying in to help. It was incredible. Never forget it. Never ever forget
Thank you,
it.
Nancy. That live was probably one of the most viewed lives.
I think I haven't checked, but it's probably up to 200,000 views right now.
Yeah.
And 7 hours looking at Santa and Mrs. Claus. Like, what an incredible. It was words. For those who were there, you understand, words can't encapsulate the spirit of the season that everybody felt and was sharing with one another. It really, really was. Oh, Flippin' Adventures just said, best Christmas ever.
Deborah Thomas said it was perfect.
Where is she in the chat right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Deborah is such a sweetie as well. Deborah, oh my god, I could just go on and on about the people and Sissy. They don't even know Sissy, but Sissy was there having the time of her life, and Sissy, and I'm talking to Sissy in the hallway, and she's like, "This is crazy." She's like, "I love it," and I'm like, "I love it too." And it's so late, and everybody's so tired, but everybody just kept going and going and going. We didn't even lock the schoolhouse till 1 o'clock.
1 in the morning.
1 in the morning, and then you're so tired, but your adrenaline is so high from everything that just happened. I just tossed and turned in bed. I couldn't sleep. I was just like, there is no way I'm sleeping. It ain't gonna happen. All right, so
Deborah Thomas said, "My pleasure."
Oh, she was incredible, and she's been helping even afterwards too. So. There's only one way to take this out.
To double fist it.
We gotta sing Happy Birthday to Jesus.
Okay.
And Maria and Christian. So Maria made us. Here's one of the other cool things. I know you think it's done. So you had all these people coming together, and Maria brings a birthday cake for Jesus, and she goes, "Listen, one of my family traditions is we have a birthday cake and we sing Happy Birthday to Jesus." And I was like, I love it. We got to do it. And so the day after, our team all went to Bubba and we brought the cake with us. And I think there were a couple people here and there, and I hope they didn't mind that we had such a big group there, But at one point we had the whole place to ourselves, and we pretty much every chair. And we were singing and giving out cake and singing Happy Birthday to Jesus. So you had all these people coming together. And they're also bringing in their family traditions as well into Christmas in the Creek. So you had the whole Hudson Otter Creek family tradition coming in, and you had other people coming in with traditions, and it was just a beautiful thing. So in Maria's family tradition, it's not midnight, but it is Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We got to sing to Jesus.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Should we call Christian and sing to him too?
I don't think he would like that.
Oh, okay.
He's probably busy with Pepper right now. Happy birthday to you.
It hurts to sing.
I'll serve.
Happy birthday
to you.
Jesus.
Happy birthday, dear Jesus. And Christian, even though you don't watch, but we know you're watching, Jesus. Happy birthday to